Ever wanted to have your own world record? Of course you have. The idea of doing something better than anyone else in the world has spawned competition for centuries, but there are some records so strange they're hard to believe. So join us as we count 10 shocking world records. Number 10. Eye-popping the furthest. Measured on the set of Guinness World Records Primetime, Kim Goodman popped her eyeballs 0.43 inches out beyond the confines of her eye sockets. Kim was out with friends on a Halloween night out 30 years ago when she accidentally popped out one of her eyes when putting on her costume mask. In 1997, the Guinness World Records found her, and since then she's had an unbeaten record. Number 9. Buried alive. A man from the Czech Republic, whose name I will not try to pronounce, survived 10 days buried underground without food or water. Connected to the outside world only by a ventilation pipe, he beat out the latest record for being buried alive, which was set at 4 days. He said the most difficult thing to endure during the feat was severe thirst, adding that the 7th and 8th days were the most challenging. Doctors who were constantly monitoring the magician said he lost 8.5 kilos in the wooden coffin. Number 8. Longest fingernails on both hands. This is one of those records that can take several decades to break, but Melvin Booth and Lee Redmond made the sacrifice and achieved combined fingernail lengths of 9.05 meters and 8.65 meters. One can only wonder how on earth they do day-to-day tasks such as washing dishes or even wiping their behinds, but I guess that's something for them to worry about, not us. Number 7. Widest Mouth. Francisco Domingo Joachim, aka the Angolan Jaw of Ore, has the widest mouth in the world. Hailing from Sambizanga in Angola, he can even fit a Coke can sideways in his 17cm wide mouth, which won him the world's widest mouth title at the Big Mouth competition in Rome, setting the new world record for widest mouth. After finding out that he would feature in the Guinness Book of World Records 2011, Joachim said it was a dream come true. Number 6. Heaviest weight lifted by tongue. Here we have a rather strange man. Thomas Blackthorne decided one day that he would dedicate 6 years of his life to increasing the strength of his tongue so that one day he could hold a world record. His efforts eventually paid off, and in August 2008 he set the world record for the heaviest weight lifted by tongue, which was 12.5 kilos. Oh, by the way, he did this by putting a hook through his pierced tongue. Excuse me while I take a moment to be sick. Number 5. Stretchiest Skin. Gary Turner of Great Britain is able to stretch the skin of his stomach to a length of 15.8 centimeters due to a rare condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a disorder of the connective tissues affecting the skin, ligaments, and internal organs. The collagen that strengthens the skin and determines its elasticity becomes defective, resulting in, among other things, a loosening of the skin and hypermobility of the joints. In more serious cases, it can cause the fatal collapse or rupturing of blood vessels, but for Gary it's just a party trick allowing him to carry up to 3 pints of beer using his skin as a tray. Number 4. Most straws stuffed in mouth. Simon Elmore of Germany broke this record in 2009 by holding 400 straws in his mouth for 10 seconds. I wonder what else you could fit in there. A baseball? Perhaps an iPhone 6 Plus? How about an Xbox? Maybe a whole beaver? In any case, it's certainly impressive, and yet somehow I wouldn't like to be the record holder for this. Number 3. Hairiest Man. Victor Larry Ramos Gomez and Gabriel Danny Gomez are two of a Mexican family of 19 that spans 5 generations, all suffering from the rare condition called congenital generalized hypertrichosis, characterized by excessive facial and torso hair. The women are covered by a light to medium coat of hair, while the men of the family have thick hair on approximately 98% of their bodies, apart from their hands and feet. Number 2. Longest time spent in direct contact with ice. Wim Hof of the Netherlands has come to be known as the Iceman as a result of his insane ability to withstand cold temperatures for extended periods of time. On January 23, 2009, he remained submerged in ice for 1 hour 42 minutes and 22 seconds to set a decisive record in the cold exposure category. Number 1. Heaviest weight pulled with eye sockets. Shane Hultgren of Australia, otherwise known as the Space Cowboy, pulled 907 pounds on the set of an Italian TV show on April 25, 2009. Hultgren holds over 30 different world records, such as most chainsaw juggling catches on a unicycle, most swords swallowed underwater, and most targets hit with a throwing knife in 1 minute. However, pulling over 400 kilos with his eye sockets by having fish hooks in them is the icing on the cake.